Let us now go to slide 9, and this refers to intelligence. It has been argued that there are different types of intelligence. A researcher in America, a man called Howard Gardner, and another one called Sternberg, who wrote books with titles like Successful Intelligence, suggests that there are different types of intelligence. So there is creative intelligence, emotional intelligence, mathematical intelligence, and that these are unrelated to each other, that you can be high on one and low on another. In fact, that's not true. By and large, people tend to be good at most of them, or average at most of them, or weak at most of them. The point I make is this. The sentence is very clear. The single most successful individual difference predictor of success at work as a leader is intelligence. You need to be bright enough. You don't have to be super bright. You don't have to be a genius, but you need to be bright enough. My personal experience has been of leaders who are not that successful because they are not that bright. Bright is not the same as educational qualifications. Bright is the ability to process information quickly and efficiently. Leaders have to be bright enough. So we see slide 10. Slide 10 gives us the code of the successful leader. And you see there IQ, intelligence, plus, 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 very important. You see neuroticism, negative, negative, negative. In other words, not neurotic, the opposite. You need to be stable. Extroversion, introversion doesn't matter as long as you look extroverted. Openness, imagination, yeah, quite important and positive. Agreeableness, actually, disagreeable leaders do better. But conscientiousness is important. Conscientiousness and hard work are important. So, if you are asking me, what characteristics, what personality traits do I look for in a leader? I want them to be bright enough for the job. I want them to be able to deal with stress. And I want them to have drive and ambition and the ability to work hard. Those above all. I'd like them to be extroverted. I'd like them to be creative. I'd like them to learn to be tough. But those are the ones I want most of all. And that's what the literature currently says about the issue of personality characteristics associated with leaders. I'm going to move on to slide 11. I want to show you two very simple models associated with leadership. The first is one of my own and a colleague, and it's called, as you see on slide 11, REG theory. These are three letters, R and E and G. And the argument is this. What leaders need is, number one, reading the signals. What does that mean? It means being aware of changes that are coming about. Things are moving rapidly in all sorts of areas. Technology is becoming redundant. Film is finished. We don't use film anymore. We use digital mechanisms. Many technologies are becoming rapidly redundant. There are changes in world trends. There are changes in populations. There are changes in tastes. If you're in business, you need to be aware of these. You need to read the signals. What's coming down the line? You need to anticipate the future. You need to think about what this means. Because if you're in the area before other people, if you can anticipate their needs of the marketplace before other people, you will be successful. So leaders need this skill of looking forward, of reading the signals, of reading the markets. The second, they need this business of engaging people. We used to talk about job satisfaction. Then we talked about job commitment. Now we talk about job engagement. What does it mean? It means that people are engaged with their work. They're involved, job involvement. They're passionate about what they do. Leaders need to be able to engage people, to make them feel special, to make them feel important, to make them feel loyal, to make them feel they want to come to work, that they benefit from many of the activities in the workplace. Job engagement is very important, and it's the leader's job in many ways to help and engage people. Charismatic leaders, extroverted leaders do this naturally. They motivate and charm people. And thirdly, of course, they need to get things done. They need to move. They need to sustain energy. It is all very well having brilliant ideas. It is all very well being imaginative, but you need action. So the model is a simple one. It says, 1, think of the future, what's happening. 2, engage your people. 3, get going, be active. I want to show you slide 12 now, which is even more simple. And this slide shows you 4 boxes, and they are labeled challenge and support. What does it mean? It means leaders have to set people goals or targets or challenges. It is very important that people know exactly what they are supposed to be doing, what their tasks are. And what good leaders do is they get the best out of their people. They challenge them to do better, to work longer, to work harder, to achieve more. They challenge them to become great heroes of the organization. I think they might be called Stakhanovites, hard-working people. So the leader needs to be high on challenge. They need to be able to get the best out of their people, to be always setting them high challenges. But also, it is the leader's job to support their people. Everyone at work needs financial support, emotional support, technical support. They need the leaders to give them things. You as a leader only achieve through others, and you need to support them. Bad leaders think that other people are there to support them as the leader, not the other way around. But good leaders are high on challenge and high on support. You can see from the boxes, those who are high on challenge but low on support get stressed. The managers demand a lot from them, but give them little support. What about the leader who is low on challenge and high on support? Nice to their staff, but doesn't get the best out of them. Well, then you have the fat and the lazy and the underproductive staff member. The ideal is high on challenge and high on support. These are very important. I want to show you now 3 slides, all relating to one very famous study. And the study was looking at 800 successful leaders. It is the only study of its type. It was done in America at the South Carolina Institute for Advanced and Creative Leadership. And it was a study on what special, successful young leaders had. And I think their characteristics are important. So let us have a look at these, first of all, on slide 13. Number 1, seeks out the opportunity to learn. You here at the School of Investment and Finance are seeking out the opportunity to learn. Nobody forces you, you seek it out. are very important characteristics. Always hungry, eager to learn, to know more, etc. Whatever age, whatever stage, whatever educational background, successful leaders seek opportunities to learn, always proactive. Next, they act with integrity. We've mentioned this honesty, trust, responsibility. No successful leader succeeds over time if they are untrustworthy and dishonest. Their staff see it quickly and they are rejected. Third, adapt to cultural differences. I am sitting here in London, a very multicultural city. We have people from all over the world. My PhD students are Chinese and Malaysian. I have Americans, I have Irish, I have Lebanese. I have students from everywhere. And we have to enjoy and adapt and celebrate cultural differences. We have to know that people have different expectations, and leaders know this. Leaders see the benefits of people from different backgrounds. Next, fourthly, you can see from the slide, genuinely committed to making a difference. Many leaders say they want to make a difference. Some are genuine about it. They want to bring about increased happiness and wealth and success, not only to themselves, but their whole company. Slide 14 continues. Seeks broad business knowledge. One of the great characteristics of successful leaders is their broad business knowledge. In America, most leaders are either marketing people or accountants. That is true in England and most countries in Europe. They're not engineers, they're not creative people, they're not human resource people. Why? Well, the answer is, to understand a company, you need to understand the whole company. You understand how it works. You must understand the finances. You must understand the developments. And those who seek broad business knowledge tend to do better. The bigger picture people are the marketing people, more than the sales people, are the people from finance, are the accountants, more than the engineers. That does not mean that an engineer or a human resource person or a salesperson cannot become very successful as a leader, but it does mean they have to seek broad business knowledge. Next, they bring out the best in people. I have seen many times leaders have a wonderful way of motivating their staff, of finding staff without particular opportunities in life, but really bringing out, it's this business of challenge I talked about earlier. Can you bring out the best in people? Can you motivate them and charm them and make them hungry for success? Can you motivate them? Next, there is being insightful, even intuitive. In psychology, we talk about the aha experience. You suddenly see something. Aha, that's how it works. And if you've ever been with people who have insight, they have insight into people and they have insight into problems. That's associated with creativity. That's also associated with intelligence. And on slide 15, you see the last four characteristics. Courageous. Courage. I shall mention that in a moment. Courage is underestimated at the workplace. Managers and leaders need courage. Next, they need to use and seek feedback. How am I doing? How do I come across? Nearly every business development program I've ever been on seeks to give people feedback. In Great Britain, 360-degree feedback is very popular. What does that mean? It means you get feedback from your boss. You get feedback from your peers. You get feedback from your subordinates. You get feedback from your clients. They tell you how they see you. Seeking feedback is very important because you can correct yourself when you've got feedback. The job of a coach is to give people feedback on their performance. Successful leaders seek and use feedback. And the final characteristic from the study is open to criticism. They say in English, don't shoot the messenger. What does that mean? It means that when somebody is coming to you with bad news, you do not take it out on them. I have a colleague who nobody dares give criticism because he reacts so badly. As a consequence, he never gets critical feedback. As a consequence, he never learns. Nobody likes criticism. We all prefer praise. The issue is how you deal with it, how you receive the criticism. So the story is this. Of those 800 young managers who were successful, very successful leaders, what do we know about them? They sought opportunities to learn. They acted with integrity. They adapted to cultural differences. They really wanted to make a difference. They sought broad business knowledge of their sector. They were very good at motivating other people. They were insightful in their business lives. They were courageous and willing to take risks. They used feedback effectively. They learned from their mistakes and they were open to criticism. Get these and you'll be successful.